Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. President Volodymyr Zelensky has addressed the G7 summit via video link, calling for more weapons for Ukraine. He reportedly told global leaders gathered in Germany that he wants the war to end by the end of the year before winter sets in. G7 leaders who met in Germany are expected to offer more military support as well as further sanctions against Russia, with some planning to ban Russian gold imports. Speaking to reporters, the German Chancellor said they were trying to help Ukraine while also avoiding a direct and escalated conflict with Russia.
This is, I think, the good message, that we are taking tough decisions, that we are also cautious, that we will help the Ukraine as much as is possible, but that we also avoid that there will be a big conflict between Russia and NATO. And this is what is of essence, to be tough and thinking about the necessities of the time we are living in.
Meanwhile, video uploaded on social media allegedly shows US long-range rocket systems being fired by Ukrainian troops from an undisclosed location in Ukraine. Ukraine said last week it had received US supplies of high-mobility artillery rocket systems, a powerful long-range weapon system that Kiev hopes can help turn the tide on Russia's invasion. South Africa's police minister says the youngest victim among the at least 21 people who died at a drinking place at the weekend was just 13 years old. The cause of the deaths was not immediately clear and authorities are investigating. The victims were found strewn across floors at the Eniobeni Tavern in the town of East London. The bodies were taken to mortuaries where post-mortem examinations will be carried out. Those who had died are reportedly between the ages of 13 and 17, but a detailed list of the victims has not yet been produced. A Norwegian court has named the suspect in a deadly rampage at a bar in Oslo as Zania Matapour, a Norwegian citizen of Iranian origin. Matapour, whom police have described as a radicalized Islamist with a history of mental illness, is accused of killing 2 people and injuring 21 on Saturday, the day the city was due to celebrate its annual Pride Parade. Intelligence services said they had been aware of Matapour since 2015 and that he had been part of a network of Islamist extremists in Norway. The African Union has called for an immediate investigation into the death of at least 23 migrants who died when a huge crowd tried to cross into Spain's North African enclave of Melilla. The AU Commission chairperson, Moussa Faki Mahamat, said he was shocked and concerned about the treatment that African migrants receive when they attempt to cross international borders. The authorities in Morocco said some of those who died had fallen from the top of a border fence that separates Morocco and Melilla. Climate protesters have brought parts of Sydney to a standstill, blocking key roads and a tunnel during rush hour. The Blockade Australia activists began disruptions on Monday in protest of Australia's ecological destruction. Police said the protesters were violent and erratic. Their actions angered some motorists, with one filmed driving through the protest and colliding with people. New South Wales police said more than 10 people had been arrested so far. And finally, an Indonesian villager has captured a crocodile after fearing the more than 4-metre-long creature was a danger to the neighbourhood using just a rope. A video of Usman and his son wrangling the massive crocodile using just a thin rope has gone viral in Indonesia. According to the 53-year-old villager, the crocodile had been roaming around his village in South Sulawesi province for at least 2 days before he decided to take action. The croc was found to be 4.3 metres long by the local Natural Resources Conservation Agency and was later released into a less populated area. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.